Mills said in a song, I used to pray for times like this. And back during the Mike White days, we certainly used to pray for times like this that we're experiencing with Todd Golden at the helm in year three. The Florida Gators are roaring through the 2024-2025 season. Now 14-1, fresh off a thrashing of the Tennessee Volunteers just this week. The Gators are looking like they are in Final Four form. We're going to give you the first basketball update here of the season of the In All Kinds of Weather forecast. Welcome in to another episode. I'm your host, Chris Yanes, back with you, giving you some other off-season content here. And if you've liked the content, please hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a like of this episode and a comment. What do you think? Are the Gators a Final Four caliber team? Let us know down in the comments. And if you don't think so, if there's things they got to work on, let us know too. We're going to be reading these comments on future shows like we were doing during the football season. We're going to be bringing that back down now that we're here fresh into 2025. We're going to be getting lots of content out to you. And we also want to make sure that we are shouting out our work on allkindsofweather.com. Neil dropped an episode, what the impact of this massive win over Tennessee meant. And a little bit unfortunate news, the situation with the student basketball section. We'll touch on it in this show. I'll give you my thoughts on that at the end. Let's talk about the joy stuff first, though, and let's talk about some great partnerships out there. I want to shout out our sponsors of the show. The All Kinds of Weather Forecast is proudly sponsored by 401k Generation, the wealth management company that helps you invest today for your future tomorrow. Their team of advisors is committed to providing guidance and education for your 401k plan and its participants. And they also offer a range of enrollment solutions tailored to meet the unique needs of your company's 401k plan. Whether it's saving for your child's college, investment advice, or even your retirement, 401k Generation team of advisors is getting to know you their top priority. Their advisors will tailor a path to assist you in navigating life's financial milestones and reaching your financial goals. 401k Generation, building stronger futures, one generation at a time. For more information, contact them at 866-998-5879 or visit their website at 401kgeneration.com. And we also want to shout out our lovely apparel partners, Heads and Tails. You can see their logo that I'm wearing on my hat tonight. If you're watching on YouTube, we hope you all took advantage of that IAKOW 30 for 30% off before it ended in 2024. And let us know if you did. Let us know in the comments. Post us. If you can, tag us on Twitter. Tag us on Instagram and in the stories. Show off that Heads and Tails merch. And obviously, we want to promote them still. It's a great small business here in the Tampa area, and they carry plenty of great apparel for Gators throughout all sports seasons. So please go in store or online at theheadsandtails.com. All right, Gator Nation, the Florida Gators are 14-1. At the time of this recording, they are the number 8 team in the country. We expect them to rise even further because they defeated the number 1 Tennessee Volunteers 73-43 in what was one of the most lopsided games that Florida has experienced in a long time. Tennessee shot the ball 21% from the field, only 13% from three, and were out-rebounded 56-37. There was never a point in this game where Tennessee actually even led. The closest it ever was when it tipped off and it was 0-0. This was complete domination, and on the heels of Florida's first loss of the season against Kentucky up in Lexington the weekend before, where the Gators fell in a shootout 106-100. You know what? This is the new SEC. If you haven't been paying attention, the SEC is absolutely loaded with ranked opponents, with ranked teams. This is not the last team that Florida's going to play that's ranked on the schedule. In fact, they play the number 2 team on the road in Auburn. They play number 14 Mississippi State on the road. They play number 17 Oklahoma. They play number 10 Texas A&M. They go to Alabama. And they play Ole Miss, who currently is ranked number 23. And by the way, Georgia, they have to go there and play them at home as well in a couple of weeks. They just beat Kentucky, who just beat the Gators. And Mike White, I don't know if it's going to last forever. They're certainly on that circle right now, that hamster wheel that Florida was on. And right now, he's got them sucked in, those Georgia fans. They think they're riding high. Maybe the media will too. And they'll give Georgia a ranking before we play them. So Florida's going to play a lot of ranked teams. They won't play another one at least until, as of right now, when they go to Tennessee on February 1st. That'll be an interesting rematch to see how Tennessee responds in that game. But it's going to be a roller coaster of a season, given the fact that the SEC is stacked. And, it's by far the strongest conference in America. You've got 6 teams currently ranked in the top 10 right now. And if you look at ESPN bracketology, the vast majority of them are getting a top 5 seed line. So this is a huge win for the Gators. The Gators right now next week, they have, let me pull their schedule up here. I had it in front of me a moment ago. Sorry about that. So they will go to Arkansas later this weekend. They will play at home the next 2 games against Missouri and Texas. They have South Carolina on the road and Georgia to finish off January. And then, they don't, like I said, they don't play another ranked team until February 1st against Tennessee. February is a tough month where they are scheduled to play 4 ranked teams. So it's going to be a lot there. So, but hey, go out, support these Gators. If you get a chance to go up to Gainesville to watch a game, or you live near one of these sites in the South where they're going to be playing, support the Gators. This is going to be a fun team. This is the best start that Florida has had since the 2005-2006 season. It's even better than the start that they had in the 06-07 year when they went back to back. This is an impressive team. This is a team that is definitely, in my opinion, has a Final Four like roster. So, I guess the question is, how are they getting there right now? I mean, Florida right now, if you look at who they have 4 guys averaging double figures. That's Walter Clayton. The addition from FAU, Elijah Martin, who has been just an absolute firecracker on the court in a multitude of ways, not just from a scoring perspective. Yes, he can shoot the ball very well. He can drive to the basket. But also, he kind of gives that team its moxie, a little bit of swagger that they might have been missing in the first 2 seasons of the Tide Golden era, and they finally got that. They sort of that, if you think back to the 05, 06, 06, 07 teams, Joakim Noah, that kind of guy, a lightning rod for the team. If you looked at how he was kind of talking trash on the court, hyping the fans up, saying what this win really meant, he's that guy. And I think they finally have him on their roster. You need a collection of different personalities, and he is that guy. So exciting to have Elijah Martin on the court. And then obviously we all know Walter Clayton. The guy can be a microwave and heat up at any time right now. He also is averaging 17 points a game, coming off a 33-point performance against Kentucky. And then you got to shout out the bigs. Alex Condon, averaging nearly a double-double a game, had an impressive game last night. And then Thomas Hugh, both guys, while they can rebound, also are shooting fairly well from beyond the arc. Alex Condon averaging 40% from the field. Thomas Hugh averaging almost 41% from three-point land. So the Gators right now, playing very well. They go about 8 deep. Behind them, you've got a guy like Denzel Aberdeen, who came off the bench last night, scored 16 points. Then you have Sam Alexis, who also is playing a good amount of minutes a game, averaging about 14 minutes a game. Ruben Chinulu, who is continuing to improve, who is an impressive rebounder, is second on the team, only behind Alex Condon in rebounding. And then behind that, that's when it really does you really do get in the reserve. So Florida only goes about 8 deep right now, but that's really all they need. It's a very efficient lineup. Todd Golden has figured things out, and this team right now ranks among some of the best in the country in some of the biggest metrics. Florida right now is 8th in the country in points per game, 2nd in the country in rebounds per game. We talked about the importance of that. That's huge. And going down the list further, Florida right now is looking incredibly good for obviously an NCAA tournament run, but a really high seed. According to TeamRankings.com, based on FPI and other metrics out there, Florida has a 56% chance to either get a 1 seed or a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament. If you go to any bracketology out there, ESPN, CBS, Net Rankings, Ken Palm, Florida is on the 1 or the 2 line. In fact, if we go, and I really always look at Ken Pomeroy, KenPom.com. If you've never looked at it, it's one of the more historically accurate power rankings in college basketball at predicting teams that are going to make deep NCAA tournament runs. Florida right now is 5th in the team ranking. They are the number 3 in offense efficiency and 16 in defensive efficiency. Certainly, they have nights like against Kentucky where they gave up 106 points, but then you have nights like last night where they were able to limit Tennessee to 43. And Tennessee has had a historically bad night shooting the ball, but that was an impressive showing still. To beat a team by 30 points and to do it in that fashion on your home court was certainly impressive. So Florida right now is one of the hottest teams in the country, a popular pick to be a Final Four squad, and this is going to be a fun run. And one more, I'll do a couple more metrics here just to kind of show exactly how good Florida is. So if you look at Florida's tournament chances on TeamRankings.com as well, Florida has a 64% chance to make the Sweet 16, a 37% chance to make the Elite Eight, almost a 1 in 5 chance to make the Final Four, and almost a 1 in 10 chance to make the final. So Florida's definitely, at this point, one of the contenders, a favorite. And you really can't say this about a Gators basketball team for now over 10 years, since that 13-14 season when the Gators went to the Final Four in Dallas and they were coming off Elite Eight runs with Billy Donovan. This is an impressive team, far better than the team under Mike White that made that run to the Elite Eight, who was a 4 seed in that tournament. This is a team that's going to be a 1 or a 2 and be a favorite on a lot of brackets across the country. And so Florida, how they've done this, they've done it with some quality wins along the way. They have to date 3 quad 1 wins, 1 quad 1 loss. Obviously, that was to Kentucky. And just for some of our fans out there that don't understand what a quad system is, this is how it's based off the net ranking. So quad 1 means that it's a home win against a top 30 net ranked team, a neutral site win against a top 50 team, or a away win against a top 75 team. And then quad 2, it slides from there. Quad 2 would be for home 31 to 75, neutral 51 to 100, away 76 to 135, and then there's 3 and 4. I won't get into all the numbers, but at that point those aren't as quality of wins. So the Gators right now are 3 and 1 against quad 1 wins. Those are on the road at Florida State, neutral against North Carolina, and home against Tennessee. Their quad 2 wins are a neutral against Wake Forest and a neutral against Arizona State, 2-0 in those games. So keep watching Gator Nation. Gator basketball, the Gator boys are hot right now. This is going to be a fun season to watch. It's going to be some really exciting times, and it's good to feel good about basketball again. So I'm going to go ahead now and switch gears really quick before we close out this another short episode here in the off season, and that is we got to address the situation that happened with the student tickets. It was very shameful, to say the least, to see students who. Everybody, if you're here in Florida right now, it's actually pretty cold for Florida, even for January. There were students that camped out all night in 35-degree weather the other night to watch that Tennessee game, to get a great seat. I myself, as a student, did that numerous times before Kentucky games, or even waited in line for hours to get a good seat. This is unfortunate that students waited in line for hours. There was a video that went out where it wrapped around almost to Gail Limerick into the stadium. And 30 minutes before tip-off, there were still hundreds of students trying to get into the building to see that game. And I'm going to be honest, like I haven't been a student now for over 7 years. But when I was a student there, we were allowed into the building 2 hours beforehand. And so you were out of the elements. You were able to get inside. A lot of people, were able to do homework or read or something like that for class before the game started. This was never an issue. And we filled the lower bowl. And the excuse that the people have said that, the class isn't back in session yet, they were concerned about, not students showing up. Well, I think we answered the bell, and clearly there was interest. And students that are passionate about sports like football and basketball and even baseball and others, they will make time around coming back from holiday breaks to attend these matches. Like, I think a lot of people watching and listening recall after Thanksgiving coming back early to go to the Florida State game. And I remember coming back from Christmas and New Year's and wanting to be there for that first SEC tip-off at home. So that to me is just, it's never been an issue. And I don't know. And I think this is really more so, it looks more like a money grab from the University Athletic Association than it is about actually, let's provide a great experience for our students who are among the most passionate fans, if not the most passionate in the building on a consistent basis there at the O'Connell Center. And clearly They're willing to wait in frigid temperatures here in Florida to watch this game. So unfortunate this happened. It cannot happen anymore. I hope that the university hears a lot of the backlash and responds accordingly. Now, class is back in session for the next home game, so this won't be an issue. But in future years where you have a similar situation, a top 10 matchup, a historical SEC home opener, can't let this happen. Can't let this happen. So hopefully this is remedied in the future, but we definitely needed to comment on it. It was unfortunate of the situation, but hopefully the students rally around this team and are even louder than they were before. So shout out to the Rowdy Reptiles out there. It's awesome. It's a fun thing to do. Some of my fondest memories with myself and also my wife, we went to games all the time together for Gator basketball. We're surrounded around going to these sort of events. So keep doing it, guys. Keep doing it. And keep listening and watching along here. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already down below. Leave a like. Leave a comment. Are the Gators a Final Four quality team this year? Love to hear your thoughts. We'll read it on future episodes, like I said. And if you're listening on audio platforms, please rate and review the show. Leave us a 5-star rating. It helps us bring Gator Nation more great content. So from all of us here at the All Kinds of Weather Forecast, signing off from a huge win over the #1 team.